What's up, everybody? Jeremy Gerard from Mythic Conversations here with a very special Wednesday night show. You can see the environment has changed. My background has changed because tonight I am here live at Four Horsemen Studios, and look who's here with me.
Oh, hi.
So very exciting. I will tell you that I thought this would be a really good idea to actually come here tonight and do the show live right before, Mythic Weekend, as a great way to kick off Mythic Weekend. And now that I'm here and I see how much stuff we still have left to do, I'm like, oh my goodness, I should have given myself an extra night off because there is a ton of work to do to bring Mythic Weekend to all of you. But all good. I'm excited to be here. Hopefully everyone else is super excited as well. Take a breath, right? Take a breath. Tonight's going to be a much more casual show. There's a lot of people milling about. I've told them they're all welcome to join me on camera if they would like to come tonight. Bill, want to sit?
Not right now. I'm going to eat.
Oh, Bill's going to eat.
I just wanted to say hi.
Say hi to everybody. Super fun weekend planned, kicking it off here today. So gonna, for the next 90 minutes, kind of talk to you about everything. You want to say hi?
I want to say hi.
Come on.
Oh,
Sherry's here.
hey.
So this is the weekly show. We've
I
got
have no
everyone.
idea where to look. Where do we look?
Right there, the camera.
Ah, the
That's-
camera.
I know.
Hi.
I want to look at the screen too, and I'm always looking down.
Yeah. That's it. Bye. Have
But this
more
is
work
how
to do.
we're getting everyone ready. Yeah, Sherry,
Yay.
she can't stick around. She's going crazy, getting everything ready for this weekend. So kicking it off tonight. Tomorrow, there's a private event here called Intern for a Day. Those interns who back that as the reward for the Mythic Legions Tactics War of the Aether Blade Kickstarter, they get to join. They get to join the crew here tomorrow for a very special day. Obviously, Friday is the big day. That is G-Con Poxxus. That will be broadcast live on Four Horsemen Studios YouTube channel. I got to tell you, I know that every time they do a new wave, I say this is the coolest wave they've ever done. But you know what? That's not just the marketing person in me. That is legitimately the fact that they're constantly elevating. They're constantly up in their game. Every wave they do is the best wave they've ever done. And this wave coming Friday is going to blow some minds. My two favorite figures I've ever seen in the Mythic Legions line are in this wave. Really, really excited to show everybody and hear what your reaction to it is. That's going to bring us into the weekend. ToyCon live on Saturday from Wayne, New Jersey. A lot of the LegionsCon exhibitors won't be exhibiting, but we will get to enjoy the day as fans. We will be there hanging out, enjoying the festivities, and that all leads to Sunday's LegionsCon event, also live in Wayne, New Jersey, where all of the guests, all of the LegionsCon exhibitors will have stuff for display, stuff for sale, meeting and greeting fans. Really, really hope. I know a number of you are already here in New Jersey. How many interns are joining the broadcast tonight? How many people are actually watching the show, maybe from their hotel room, and they're actually here in New Jersey waiting for the festivities to begin? Seb says, I'm a little nervous driving to New Jersey on Friday. Nothing to be nervous about. Nothing. Now to guess which two they are. Eric, you will probably know which two they are. You'll probably be able to figure it out when you see them. They are super cool. Super, super cool. Oh, yes, Curtis. I got a little haircut here. Wanted to look really nice and fresh for the broadcast this week. Very, very cool. Awesome. Jeremy sounds so much better outside of a glass cage of his own making. Is the audio better here? It's a much bigger room, obviously. I'm not as caged in. I know a lot of people are on their way down to New Jersey now. I'm sure tomorrow is going to be a big day. Vince says he's an hour away. So Vince, you're checking me out in the car. If you are, drive safe, be careful. Don't want anyone getting hurt on their way there. Cookie, nice to have you on. Anthony as well. Everyone's so busy. Everyone was supposed to join me tonight, and they're all milling about doing stuff. The amount of activity here is incredible, absolutely incredible. So the last time I was actually here in the studio was in May. Most of the work I do remotely. I live about 3.5 hours away from the studio. I got to tell you, this place looks amazing, like absolutely amazing. This is a new space that they actually moved into this space right around the time that COVID was beginning. So there was a substantial gap between them starting to move in and actually being able to use it in the fashion that they want. So the fact that now they're here and they're getting it ready for all the interns tomorrow, it looks super, super cool. As you know, I'm a huge fan myself. When I walked in today and I saw some of the stuff set up, it was like a gasp of awe of how incredibly cool everything looks. So really, really excited. I'm here tonight. I got no real formal presentation. I'm just hanging out. I'm just chatting. Maybe this is kind of more like one of the I guess the talks that Walter would do, right? So hit me up with your questions. Let's have a conversation. I didn't even do my intro today. I didn't even do my normal intro. I didn't even tell you that I have the distinct privilege of being the digital marketing manager for Four Horsemen Studios. But I do. And it's very, very cool. Love it. Let's see what else. Chris said he's going to be right here. Joe says, I'm at the day in watching now. Joe, I haven't checked in yet. I'm going to probably be getting there a little late tonight, and I've got to move a whole bunch of stuff to my hotel room. I am not looking forward to getting there tonight. I'm sure that it's not super busy there yet, but people are going to start coming in between tomorrow night and Friday and everything. Fortress Madamus, great name, says, I'm new to Mythic Legions, don't own any yet, so I'm wicked excited to start out with a new wave on Friday. Sounds like a great wave to start with. It is an awesome wave to start with, but one thing to keep in mind is these are not in-stock items. This is a pre-order. So the pre-order that starts on Friday at 5 p.m., that pre-order is going to run for a period of time, and then it has to go into production. So like all of the Mythic Legions waves, especially ones that have new tooling, it is going to take 12 plus months for those to actually come in. So if you are new to Mythic Legions, I always tell people, get in on the pre-orders. That is the way to do it. However, if you want to get some in hand now, there are some really cool stuff. Big Bad Toy Store does have a handful in stock. The All-Stars 4 figures are shipping now. Want to jump in?
Nope, I just want to do this so that I'm on. Do you want lights?
More? No, I'm good. I'm good. More guests tonight than we've ever had. Yeah, so All Stars 4 is just coming in, just shipping now. So that's a great one too. There's certainly going to be an in-stock sale at some point. There are still some retailers that have some of those available that should be shipping soon. So that might be an option to jump on to as well. Or join a group like the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group and go on there and see who's selling something. You can often get some really great deals on there to get you started with Mythic Legions. But that all being said, welcome to the group. Can't wait for you to get your first ones. Awesome Dave, wife and I will be there on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you. Curtis, yeah, hopefully we'll have some video tours this weekend. It's really based on time, but I absolutely, especially on Saturday, I'm hoping to do some broadcasting. I'm hoping to, rope in some people to do some broadcasting impromptu on Saturday, just to bring some content to those that can't be here in beautiful New Jersey in person. Are we dry brushing tonight? Sherry may be doing some dry brushing in the other room. I'm not painting tonight. Tonight we're just hanging out and chatting. Brad saying, so stoked for tomorrow. So I have to imagine, Brad, that you are already here in New Jersey. Are you one of the ones that took a photo outside of the studio and posted it to the Cabal? We actually, yeah, someone actually came and shot a photo in front of the doors saying, look, we've arrived. And we're all in here working and like they didn't knock or anything. It is a little creepy.
Very nice of them to not bother us.
It is very nice that they didn't bother us. I agree, George. We are pretty busy in here. No, Will, I do not have a beer like Walter. I'm an old man. I would be asleep if I had a beer right now. It's been a long day. Seb saying, any insights on what waves will be offered Saturday and Sunday? Yes, I do, but I'm trying to think what Chris said. You know what? I'm going to wait and let Chris answer that because if I let him answer it, I won't get in trouble for revealing something I shouldn't. Awesome. Eli says, on military duty, getting off once, heading up once I get off. Very cool, man. Thank you for your service. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Tony is asking where Walter is. I think Walter is actually still traveling. I think Walter gets in late tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, coming from California, there's a number of people that are flying in from California. I know Nate's on his way right now, is on his way right now. So there's a number of people that are coming from the West Coast that should be here soon. Yes, got my cut, absolutely. Exclusive edition of Sir Gerard. When is it going up online for those who cannot attend? So the plan is that it is going to go up sometime next weekend. I haven't honestly figured out exactly what time it's going to be yet, but it's likely going to be next Saturday. So let me look at my calendar here and just make sure I can tell you what date that is. So next Saturday is the 20th. So tentatively on the 20th, it will go up at legionsshop.com. Now remember, the ones that go up at Legion Shop, they are not in stock. We actually, with all the shipping delays, all of the Sir Gerard figures have not actually arrived yet. We air freighted a number of them in specifically for the show. The ones that are still on the way, those are the ones that will go up for pre-order. So they'll probably be fulfilled hopefully by the end of the year. I'm saying within 4 to 6 weeks. Jacob, can you give me the thing over there? The one that's in the bag? Yeah, bring it over. Very cool. You want to be on camera? You want to join the YouTube? This is my son, Jacob. Jacob, he's sporting the gear. He's here with me. Here with me in New Jersey. Now you can tell all your friends that you're a YouTuber.
Which I am now.
You're on this YouTube channel. Very, very cool. So something very fun that I got here when I came to the studio today. Let me just put this together. Very excited. Let's see. Justin saying, is the Sir Gerard figure on sale Saturday and Sunday or just Sunday? It is just Sunday. So to be very, very clear, all of the LegionsCon festivities happen on Sunday only. Saturday is a lot of us are going to be there. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be able to enjoy the event as fans, right? Because we are all fans. We're going to be there. So instead of being behind our booths, we can mingle and interact and have some control over who we get to hang out with that day. Four Horsemen Studios, they will have a table at ToyCon on Saturday. Their table will be moved into the other room on Sunday for LegionsCon. Everybody else will be at LegionsCon on Sunday. Sir Gerard will be there as well. So look what I got here. This is actually a Sir Gerard test shot. So if you come to LegionsCon, this guy will actually be on display along with obviously the Sir Gerard, the show version, the LegionsCon debut version will be there. And we'll also have the standard release version that will be offered through Four Horsemen Studios a little bit later. But very, very cool. Very cool. Happy to have this in hand. Oh, you gotta get out. We're kicking you out. We're kicking you out. Yeah, we got a better.
Oh, what?
Look at this.
Oh, jealous.
Twinsies.
George.
I don't even own one.
You are so
Twinsies.
jealous.
Look
so,
at this.
so,
Someone asked a question. They said, what is going to be available for sale on Saturday and Sunday? And I said, I'm going to have Chris answer that because I didn't want to.
no, I didn't. I had to take this. All right, hold on. Yeah, it wasn't over there. I didn't see it.
Chris, I don't believe we are getting Taco Bell Friday. I don't know. Maybe they're doing Taco Bell. Okay. So I answered the question about when Sir Gerard is going on. Sir Gerard Sunday only. Let's see. Yeah, well, Ryan saying, can't wait for intern day tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, Ryan. It's going to be awesome. Some super, super cool stuff lined up here for you. My wall is asking, how long will the pre-order last? It hasn't been announced yet. It's 6 weeks. Yeah, you'll have time. So that's the thing. I know a lot of people bemoaned the fact that Cosmic, ended a few weeks ago. Now Poxxus is coming here. But realistically, even if you bought into the Poxxus pre-order on the last day of that pre-order sale, the space of time between that and the start of Poxxus and how long Poxxus is going to run from end to end, you're looking like 2 months. So hopefully that will be enough time for people to gather what they want to get what they want. But absolutely. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Greg saying I'll be there tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Absolutely. Yeah, Patrick. So the person that was talking about they don't have any figures yet. Patrick points out that the Skeleton Legion builder on Big Bad Toy Store is a great figure to start with. Absolutely. It's $39.99 on Big Bad Toy Store. They also have the Goblin Legion builder, $39.99. Two awesome figures. The Goblin Legion builder is one of my favorites. I've customized that so many times. I can never have enough of that figure. Really big kid. Will the exclusives be sent by FedEx? Unfortunately, we do not do FedEx on Legion Shop. It is U.S. Postal Service only. Let's see. Brian saying I'll be flying out in a few hours. Can't wait to see you, Brian. So Brad was saying, yes, that was him and Michael. So it was Brad Jones and Michael Casper who were outside. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said your names. Well, they were outside kind of stalking us here at the studio. Seb saying, another tip for newcomers, buy more than you think you want because you'll want more later. You absolutely will. This wave, I mean, I don't want to say there's something for everyone because it's not like those early waves, like especially Mythic Legions 1.0 and then Advent of Decay. Those waves literally had a little something for everyone. They were incredibly expansive waves. I mean, Advent of Decay was 40 some odd figures. That was pure insanity. That literally had something for everyone. Obviously, if you've followed Mythic Legions, Four Horsemen Studios over the last few years with the Erythir release at G-Con 2019, Alithia last year, I think you got a sense of what to expect from Poxxus. Are you actually back now? Are you back?
Until somebody sends me another message and I have to go run.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Nicole. I got you, girl. Every time I don't know, every time she sends me a message and has whatever, needs something or whatever, my response is always, I got you, girl. And then she didn't have my number in her phone. Can you believe that? Didn't have my number in her phone because she got a new phone. Who dis? And I was trying to get in touch with her and she didn't know it was me. She's like, who's this?
So Curtis is saying the van ride from Muskegon is going to be crazy. So do you know Stephen Bishotti?
Yeah, Bushati,
Pete McCarthy, Emil Wickman, they're all driving from Michigan all the way here.
I can't wait to meet Emil from Michigan. Oh, he flew into Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, instead of flying into New York, which probably would have been
a smart person.
Yeah, he flew down there because he wanted to hang out with all of those guys.
That's cool. I mean, it's cooler to hang out with us, but that's cool.
He's going to arrive in New Jersey a changed man. He's going to arrive and absolutely change me.
I'm not even touching that one.
You know what, when my daughter found out that Emil was flying in, do you know what her request was? What she wanted him to bring her?
I feel like I saw this. Swedish meatballs.
I wouldn't ask him to bring meatballs.
What was it?
You got the first word right.
Oh, Swedish fish. That's
Yes,
right. Yeah. I
Swedish
knew it had
fish.
something to do with that. Yeah.
She's
yeah.
really excited for Swedish fish from Sweden.
She should have some of these.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with you. I'm
Your
not
daughter
doing
would love it. Oh, I smell pizza. We'll have enough of that tomorrow. All right. So what was the
Okay,
question?
so some people asked what to expect, what will be available on Saturday and Sunday. Are you
Oh,
in a position to answer that in some fashion?
probably not, but I'll answer it anyway.
You don't have to wait for my approval. Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. I just got in touch with E, and the controller's supposed to be over there, so they're trying to find it. So if we can't find it, we can't get the thing down. So yeah, there's going to be our.
This is like live on the fly.
I had to run
Oh,
over
yeah.
there because he said it was supposed to be over there, and I looked, it wasn't there.
This is a slice of what's happening right now.
This is my never-ending. It's going to be Arathier and All Stars 3, and then on Saturday and Sunday there'll be a small sampling of some older stuff, but not a lot. So I don't know. I would like to try and put out a little bit throughout the day of those, but you know, it's chaotic, so it might just all get dumped in 9 o'clock hour. I hope not. I would like to spread it out a little bit. But I can't say what those are. I mean, it's like gonna be Advent kind of things.
There's nothing. There's no crazy stuff. Like anyone that's
no.
Now there may be. I know Nikki said that she's bringing some like much older Mythic Legion stuff that she had lying around that she's gonna get rid of on Sunday.
Excuse me. I was waiting for that one. Sorry, it's dust in my nose.
My normal shows are so professional and so well put together. So there will be some stuff. There will be some stuff at
But
ToyCon and LegionsCon,
That's not at the
but
Horsemen.
not at the Horseman table.
Yeah.
That stuff
Yeah, there might
went away with
be-
Exodus.
Yeah. That was like a lifetime ago. Oh man. That was trial by fire too.
Was
There'll be some trolls. Not a lot.
Will you call me?
Troll, you troglodyte.
So Jacob, a bunch of people said hello when you came on screen.
Hi, Jacob.
Adrian said that your beard is starting to come in. I'm sure you're very happy about that.
Hi, Anthony. Hi, Will. Hi, David. Hi, Brian. Hi,
We're
Patrick.
really-
Hi, Ryan. Hi, Anthony again. Hi, Will.
We're really far behind on
Hi, Time.
questions.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Will.
Someone just said
Hi,
Otho.
Vince.
Night, Paul.
Oh, there'll be plenty of both those for everyone.
So my wife,
Why?
this is a good question. My wife keeps asking what she can expect tomorrow at the intern event.
To not find you.
Tonight,
Oh, at the intern. Oh, I'm
at
thinking
the
of the show.
intern event.
To not find you.
I mean, ultimately, it's a great day to just come to the studio to meet everybody in a, not one-on-one fashion, but in a much more relaxed fashion than you would at a show like ToyCon.
Mhm.
And we've got some activities planned. So there's going to be some fun stuff that everyone gets to do and really gets a bit of a behind the scenes look at how everything gets done here. Plus, you just get to hang out here in this place.
I'll tell you what.
It's pure magic.
Tomorrow's going to be awesome.
It is.
You know why? Because I will be doing a lot less work than I normally do.
A different kind of work.
No, that's, you know what? It's still going to be a hell of a lot less work than I
It's
normally
a
do.
different kind of work.
As you can see me running down the hall to check something because we need it for something and this, that, and the other thing. Running to my computer and messaging Diego and trying to get the store ready.
Just to say,
And before, right as we were starting, I got a call
yeah.
from home.
Daddy, guess what?
I'm like, I know exactly what. And she's like, I was dragging it out with her. Like, she's, guess who's going to come tonight? I'm like, Easter Bunny? No. Elf on the Shelf? No. And so, of course, the Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. So she had that snaggle tooth just hanging there. And I just kept wanting to just bing, flick it out. So she had to tell me that, and she thought I was coming home. I'm like, I told you I'm coming home late tonight. Sorry.
There was one day when Jacob was still losing teeth where he was running a race. It was years ago, and he had a tooth loose, and he literally like ripped it out, spit it out,
Ew.
and said, "Pain is what was it? Pain is weakness leaving your body."
So I finished the race, right? And the entire time it was almost coming out. At the end of the race, I spit it out of my mouth. And I went, pain is just weakness leaving the body.
Yes. So he
You didn't keep the tooth?
No, I picked it up after.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, so
Ran
he
back.
Ran back.
That's a disgusting story. So you spit your tooth out at a road race.
Well, no, I spit it into my hands because I didn't want to get dirty.
So you
Oh, I
spit.
thought you were just like,
So you spit into your hands. Said the line, which is cool.
to the tooth. He's like, "Puh, pain is something in the teeth of losing the body. And
Pain, pain is just weakness leaving your body. And then he took the tooth home with him, so the tooth fairy would come.
I think it's for like my pocket or something. So like,
It's-
he stuck it back in, keyed it there for safekeeping. It fits perfectly. Hi, time too. Oh, I said hi,
Okay.
Christopher Bouchard.
Can't wait for the Friday wave. Absolutely love the Slayer style shirts. Who? This is Cabal. This is who's
Well,
Slayer?
Slayer style, he said. Hi, Brocky
Let's
Prime.
see.
Dude, I'm so disappointed exclusives won't be on sale on Saturday. Well, that's because LegionsCon is only on Sunday. Duh.
Someone did ask what the difference between I assume they were asking between what the show version is and what the regular version is. It is the deluxe packaging, and the skeleton head does not come in the regular edition. And I know a lot of people have complained about the fact that the skeleton head is, the more important one. I saw someone say it may be the one that you prefer, but it's not core to the character. When we do reveal the bio on the character, you'll see that that's a fun little aside in the character's story, but it's certainly not essential to the character. Next week on my show, I'll be doing a recap of all the insanity from Mythic Weekend, and I can talk more about the character then and why that head is not essential. But that will be the difference. But the regular edition, that will go up. I haven't decided yet, in subsequent months.
I'm not even touching that one.
Dave,
Don't expect a case of both those. Expect 5 cases of both.
I want a remake of The Odd Couple with Jeremy and Chris living together, Mr. Professional and Mr. Anything But. So you're Oscar and what was it? Felix. Felix, were you waiting for me to look to you and say, like, I don't know the answer to this?
I mean, I'm down for it.
The Odd
As long as your
Couple.
wife doesn't mind me moving in for a little while.
When is this slob gonna leave?
Your son will love me, though.
Any chance we can reveal how many figures are in the wave?
Yes. More than one. Less than
100.
No, I was going to say 20, but that might be wrong.
What's this one? Basically, make every Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon movie. Okay, that could be a project.
Yeah. Chris, we'll have everybody packing those. But yeah, damn straight.
I want a Grumpy Old Men remake with Jeremy and Chris. Oh, I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to catch up on these
Fairy
comments.
Legion builder confirmed. They got my clue there. Darn it.
Mythic Tooth Fairy.
Chris, what's your favorite character? All of them.
So I said earlier, Chris, and I can't say
Bye.
whom. Bye, Sherry.
I mean, I know who my favorite's gonna be, but
My 2 favorite figures I've ever seen in the line are in this coming wave.
you want to whisper them sweetly into my ear?
My favorite figure is the one that came in the wave with the stuff.
Well,
That was a good figure. Probably my second top. I don't know. You tell me later. I know what my favorite is going to be. And it's going to be my favorite over everything else. And I'll tell you,
Is it-
on Friday.
Okay.
When I go ape bazonkers.
okay.
Because
Is
I
it
love
the
it.
one that Eric named after you?
No, it's the one that Eric based the sculpt of me on. all the muscles. You know,
Oh, that one, yeah.
clearly
The greased up torso.
greased up torso.
So Justin is saying, how is the Sir Gerard figure different? And it's a brand new character. So it's a whole new figure. It's a whole new character. He's a member of the Sons of the Red Star. I actually did a show few shows ago where I talk a little bit at length about him. We did hold back. We announced that he is Sons of the Red Star. We held back his exact bio and the packaging just so fans at LegionsCon can get first shot at seeing that.
Okay. I'm good with that.
I think we're caught up.
You damn straight, Nate.
So here's one for you. Chris
Yeah.
says, psyched to hear you did the Scott Farkas figure. We watch A Christmas Story every Christmas Eve and eat Chinese food. A favorite tradition at the Stronghouse.
Yeah, buddy. I got to meet everybody except for Peter Billingsley.
Nate, are you driving with the guys as well? Actually, they're driving tomorrow. They're driving down on Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like a 12-hour drive from Michigan.
Yeah. So they're not going to be here tomorrow. They'll be here on Friday.
Yeah, they won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
They're not interns.
Well, we could make them honorary interns, make them pack boxes.
We got enough people here.
Well, they'll be over there. I was just looking at, okay, whatever.
Will, we just drive the deluxe Sir Gerard packaging? It's a box.
Chris Lundgren.
So it's a box as opposed to the standard card. The regular edition release will be on the standard card. Did I show it? No. We haven't showed any of the packaging. What do you want to show? The standard? Do you want to? There's one on the couch over there.
That's Eric. I gotta get permission from my boss.
Tristan saying we're driving out at midnight tonight. Looking forward to seeing you. Tristan is with Immortal Collections, one of the awesome artists partners at Legion Shop. They're going to be exhibiting. I've got these jelly beans here, and it's tempting me to eat one, but I know they're probably horrible. Yeah, I don't think I should have it. You want to say hi, Joe?
Maybe towards the end, so if it cuts out,
So we've got something to show here. So this is standard.
Look at that. Oh, man. Look at that. It's a beauty. Holy crow.
Flip it over.
Okay. Whoa, man. It's even better. It's even better. Okay, here we go. Dang. Look at that bottom. Oh, that's a fat bottom girls. You make the rocking world go round. There we go.
So there we go. That is the standard packaging for the Sir Gerard figure. So this is the figure that will be released through Four Horsemen at a later date. This is not the one that's going to be at LegionsCon this Friday, but this is identical in other ways. The actual base of the figure itself is identical.
Everything's backwards. Okay, there we go. Okay. That's a sexy figure. I designed it really nicely, I gotta say.
You did a great
I
job.
did. Jeremy was responsible for the sexiness. How badass, right? This one's mine. Ha 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 ha.
Cannot read the bio well. I promised that we
Bio
would.
robust.
I promised we would wait for that. The one thing I will tell you is he is not a skeleton.
That's right.
A lot of people thought he was a skeleton because of the alternate head that's on the show version. He is not a skeleton.
Actually, because he
Yeah.
I don't even remember if I read it.
He's now going to read it to himself here.
Yes. I don't know if I proofread this.
Eric saying, I'm repacking my bags tomorrow. I literally have too much stuff to bring. I hear you. You're on the Cabal. You probably saw the photo that I shared this morning where literally the entire back of the SUV from window to window, side to side was absolutely packed with stuff. So much cool stuff to bring. Some of the stuff is to just exhibit and show off. A lot of the stuff is for Legion Shop. A lot of the cool stuff that we're going to have available. And we're just one of the vendors there. There are going to be a ton of cool vendors selling and exhibiting amazing stuff.
What is the one thing you're looking forward to on Saturday and Sunday? Because it's going to be two different things.
That I'm looking forward to? Like, what am I, like, I mean,
Just in general terms.
I'm looking forward to being able to attend as a fan on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're there and you're working, like in May when we did ToyCon and you're actually working, you don't even something like getting time to walk the show.
Oh yeah.
ToyCon itself is a great show. So getting a chance to walk the show and see what's there, that's going to be fun. And also just getting to hang out with a lot of people at, you know, my pace, that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. It's always, you know, when you're at a show for work, it's always hard.
It is
too much going on.
Well, because we're fans too. You know, we want to be there. And I mean, you will see that at the Horseman table. You will see that as crowds die down, they'll start making the rounds. And, you know, Eric will come back with a bunch of Marvel Legends in hand and everything. So we want to be there for that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm genuinely just looking forward to meeting everybody. There are so many people that I deal with on a fairly regular basis. Getting to be in the same physical space with them, especially after the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be cool. There's definitely going to be a lot more people coming from further away, especially for Sunday, because there'll be a lot of people that have tables. And would you say it was like 45 people, 50 tables? 40 people, 50 tables?
40 exhibitors, 50 tables at LegionsCon.
That's crazy. You should be proud of yourself.
And this is just the beginning. We're already starting to plan for those. I know there's a number of people that, for logistical reasons, for concerns around COVID, which is a legitimate concern, they're not traveling this year. I know a number of people saying that, you know, I hope to attend next year. I will tell you that my mission, I told Joe this months ago, I said, my mission is that everyone who comes this year has so much fun that they cannot imagine not coming next year.
Yeah.
And everyone out there that had to miss it sees what happens and says, I cannot not go next year.
Yeah.
We're already starting to plan next year. Hopefully shortly after this year is done, we'll have an announcement of what 2022 is going to look like.
Hopefully I'll have some product for next year.
Chris is going to be there. So you're going to be at LegionsCon and
be
you're going to be, what are you going to be showing off?
Jesus.
I regret asking him.
Man, I've been working all day. I'm punchy right now.
Great
I'm-
start with that marketing.
I'm punchy.
I'm in.
Who wants a Jesus? Yeah, it's gonna be my. It's gonna be my.
George is first in line.
You know what a lot of people are asking for? Eric's sitting right there. We'll make him come on in a minute. A lot of people are really asking for next year's LegionsCon. They want us to have axe throwing and a hot tub. Not necessarily together.
Why
Not
not?
like
Why not? Hilarity will ensue, of
sitting
course.
in the hot tub
You want
throwing
the handle
axes.
to be dry before you throw it. No slip.
Hence why we want it to be
Depends on
combined.
What outcome you
Goal,
go?
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people want a dry handle. Some people.
Hey.
So Will is asking whether or not people can order Jesus. You have a line. You are going to be doing like a crowdfunded campaign.
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to show you the best accessory you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
It's so dang cool. Oh man, this is better than your stupid toy.
What we got?
I dropped my gum. I caught my gum.
Have you ever heard the term self-sabotage?
I'm so tired right now. Okay, here's the best accessory
Good.
ever in existence of accessories is the flaming, the burning bush of Moses.
Burning bush.
Burning bush.
George is over there looking at me just like, I feel you.
There we go. Oh, it's hot. It's hot.
There's a lot more burning and a lot less bush.
It is. It's more like the burning, like grassy, like knoll kind of. It's just some grass.
It's engulfed in the spiritual flames of the Lord.
More important than the bush.
Are you sure?
The fire. And notice the bush is not burning.
Fire.
It's the bush is on fire, but it's not burning.
It's the burning grasses.
The holy Flame. You're just jealous. That's cool. And it's gonna have a little votive in there, and it's gonna light up, and it's gonna be cool. Here, look, I'll show you. This is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look like this.
Do you want to come on?
Woo! Look how
That
cool that is.
is actually kind of cool.
Look at that on the screen. It's so awesome.
Does it double as a nightlight?
It could.
You need to make it plug in.
Plug it in, plug it in. It'll be a diffuser nightlight.
Someone said that you could use that as a nightlight cover.
Yes!
Someone actually said that.
Exactly. Penicillin cures a burning bush.
Wow.
Stop burning the bush.
But that's cool. And I'm gonna have some cool stuff.
Someone just yelled at us. It's engulfed in the Holy Spirit, Jeremy.
That's what I said.
Let's let Eric come on. Let's let Eric come on. I don't think there's
That
room
was
for.
a transition.
I don't think there's room for three on the couch, Chris.
Well, that's what laps are for. Half of yours and half of mine.
Jeremy
Sits
has
right
no
in the
time
middle.
for a segue. Get off.
Because of COVID distancing rules, you can't be on my lap.
No lapping.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's try to bring this back around. Let's get this back to where it normally is.
This couch is very
It's very-
uncomfortable.
That's what that green pillow's for.
So we got a big weekend. I have no problem interviewing you, but it feels very different in person. I'm not used to being a live interviewer.
You're
This
a
is
dead
also
interviewer
awkward.
because we're sitting next to each other and you're like craning your neck around to.
It is really weird. You want to
So
give?
now I'm behind you.
There's no way we can make this not weird. Do you want to give?
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Do you want to give the audience any insight into what to expect for this Friday? Any
Sure.
kind of a teaser.
Well, as you guys know, it's the name of the wave is Poxxus, and so you can make a reasonable assumption that Poxxus will show up in this wave, and it will also be, I think a wave that a lot of people have been anticipating for a while because it's going to really be where the magic element comes in strong in Mythic Legions. There's been tastes of it over the years, all the way back to the first wave, but there was so much part sharing and things like that. Like even the magical characters didn't even have, like magic staffs or anything like that. And over the years, that's trickled in more and more, but still nothing, not a major presence yet. So this one's going to be cool because it opens up a lot of new territory for the line. It's to me at least, it feels visually a little different than what we've done in the past, while still fitting the line and not looking out of place at all.
It's another really cohesive wave, just like Erether was a very cohesive wave. Alithia was a very cohesive wave. This follows that pattern that was established a few years ago at G-Con. I agree with you. I think that a lot of the stuff that people are going to see are things they're excited for, things that they've been asking for. I said a few times that my two favorite figures that I've seen in the wave so far in this wave, and because you just said that it's a pretty good assumption that Poxxus is going to be available, I think it's safe to tell this story. But when I started working with you guys, over 2 years ago now, you gave me an image dump of just like all kinds of stuff that you would have, a lot of the early product photography, and there was some early sketches that were in there, some of which we've actually shared on sourcehorseman.com. But at the time, one of the things I got to see was the design for Poxxus. And I just immediately loved how unique it was. And I've been looking forward to that particular figure. When I got to see the final result, did not disappoint at all. incredibly cool. I think fans are going to go crazy for it. I'm excited for Friday, just as we reveal these pieces, being able to see the comments. It's almost hard to keep up because there's so many comments. They just pepper one after another. But being able to see all the reactions to the new reveals, that's really, really fun. I love doing that. I think they're going to absolutely love them.
It's been interesting for me just getting reactions, from you seeing it. Trevor was here the other day, and just the folks around the office. Like it seems like everybody's very excited about this wave, and like I'm, every single time, like I'm apprehensive going in, not knowing how it's gonna play with people. There's some talk about it more on Friday, but there's some elements in this line that are really kind of some new ground that I was just hesitant about. And so luckily that they seem to have turned out well, and people have reacted well. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so that's just it's exciting, and it's a relief too.
So we're not going to go there because we don't want to give that stuff away. But one thing you just said I think is interesting. Mythic Legions is now 7 years old. Four Horsemen Studios is 20-something years old. You've been doing this for a while, and you just said that when you put this new stuff up, you're still apprehensive. Do you still get nervous about putting this stuff out there?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely happened with Cosmic. That one, it was in the hopper for so long, and like it's so internalized at that point that you don't know. Even just like on a much smaller, like the stakes being much smaller, but every wave, we're always surprised at like what the rankings of figures are, like in popularity and sales. And it's luckily people like the figures enough. There's not like a loser out of that, but it's it just goes to show, though, like no matter how well laid your plans are, something can always throw you for a curve. And so, I think becoming in overconfident is a dangerous position to put yourself in.
I love seeing what the reaction is to and which ones are most popular. I also love seeing that with like the voting process. So in 2020, we actually did 2 votes. We did the vote for All-Stars 4 back in January, and then we did the vote for Legion Builder reinforcements.
Right.
And seeing which figures rank is always really interesting, especially year over year. I said this when I did an All-Stars 4 like open, live opening, box opening on my channel here. And I talked about Sir Owain, that the voting for All-Stars 3, Sir Owain was like in the bottom 5. He was really, really low. And then I don't know what changed between All-Stars 3 and All-Stars 4, but he then becomes a top vote getter, not the top vote getter, but one of the top vote getters to make that. That was the one that absolutely surprised me. Absolutely surprised me. So it's interesting to see, fan reaction to these characters and the ebb and flow over time of which ones are most popular.
Yeah. And that's what, we've talked many times about, like, especially like in some of the early waves, like the figures that like dead last on sales. And then, it may be because once people get them in hand, they see the paints, or somebody does a killer custom on it. And whatever it is, all of a sudden that figure goes from being one that we feel like we have a bunch sitting around the warehouse to the scarcest figure in the line.
Well, it's funny because 2 things happen there. If a figure is not ordered in huge quantities, not as many people have them, which means more people may want them, but it also means that there's not as many to go around for people having extras to trade. And you base orders for subsequent shows and stuff like that based on popularity a lot of times. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where if a figure isn't popular in the pre-order, there's not as many ordered, there's not as many to go around, there's not as many extras ordered. And then if everyone wants that character, it is absolutely that supply and demand.
Yeah.
You mentioned that first wave. Sir Ignatius and Orange Steelhide were two perfect examples of characters that were some of the least popular. But when people got them in hands and they saw that pearlescent armor or that green armor on Ornn, they immediately wanted them, and there was none to be had, which is why they made it into that first All-Stars wave.
Yeah, I mean, Ornn was the lowest figure. And I would imagine, even being in an All-Stars wave, there's still probably less of that, so much less of that figure out there, because I mean, he was substantially lower than some of the high figures. I don't even know if we could get away with making such low numbers these days. But yeah, it's cool to watch that. Like, it just shows that the line, has like an organic flow to it. It's not just, there's been that one popular character from wave one and everybody's stuck on it and can't, move on or, whatever. But oh boy. You want to get back on here and talk about the burning bush some more?
My burning bush needs to be talked about.
Oh my God, I feel like this is like the sweaty balls skit on Saturday Night Live, like coming to life.
Everyone needs to have my sweaty balls in their mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, but
I already talked about it.
I see what you're saying. There are certain figures in the line that are very, very popular. I mean, the Templar figure, that's been released multiple times. I mean, obviously, Sir Godfrey was the first one in 1.5. Then there was the Templar Legion builder that's been re-released a few times, and he's coming out in All-Stars, not All-Stars, but Mythic Legion's reinforcements. And it seems like people cannot get enough of him. Big Bad Toy Store got some in recently, and I think it was overnight, if not overnight. Yeah, gone. It just seems like people cannot get enough of them. I think that one is absolutely an army building. I see a lot of people building out big Templar armies for photography and stuff like that.
That one's an interesting one for me because I see, not all the time, but consistently see comments from people about that they don't like that figure because it's a real world, our real world reference point. Obviously, it's not a very popular opinion, but well, I mean,
obviously not if it's selling so
right.
well.
but it's an interesting one though because some people feel so strongly about it, but it doesn't really. But I think for the most part, that connection to something familiar is what really fuels that figure. Because I mean, who hasn't seen a Templar knight at some point in their lifetime, or had like the little Britons figures when they were a kid with, as a Templar figure. So that's, I don't know, just like it's fun watching those kind of back and forth comments like that from people.
I'm trying not to.
What do you want?
Oh no, I was looking on my phone and it's funny. Well, I don't know. Maybe I thought the camera was like, it just looked off on my phone. I thought maybe like it was a different, using a different camera or something. It was weird. And it's very, you're on the Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it working okay?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the quality's a little low, but it might just be because it's a live stream.
I've heard those same comments where people say it takes them out of the fantasy aspect because it's something, but I feel that there are more people that like that connection, that it is something familiar. And the reality is it doesn't have to be Templar knights in the, the historical aspect of what we know from our world. I mean, at the end of the day, you've used other influences, that you've seen over the years in the line. I like the fact that it's not pure fantasy, that there is a sense of realism in a lot of what we see, especially with like a lot of the armor characters, the frog knight, the frog helmet that on the red shield soldier, that was one that you saw like historical pictures of, correct?
Yeah. I mean, that entire armor set was very closely based off of real armor. I mean, that's I think part of what works so well for this line is that in the same line you can do, you know, something crazy like Alithia or Poxxus,
Mhm.
but then also have, like you mentioned, a red shield soldier, which is very, you know, leaning much more heavily towards historical accuracy. And just seeing the way people approach the line, like there are people who are really into it because of the knights,
Mhm.
or there are people who really dig the skeletons, or there's certainly
Those are the
the very vocal dwarf, you know, contingent.
There's
And
a
so-
number of them watching this. I got a number of people that watch the show on Wednesday nights that are just dwarves.
And I see a lot of comments running down on every Wednesday. But yeah, but that, you know, that's what's great. There's something for everybody. And,
Yeah.
you know, if you're not a completist, if goblins are your things, every
Yep.
once in a while a goblin comes along, so you could casually get into the line and
Yep.
enjoy that aspect of it.
Well, I remember when the figures first came out, those two categories, knights and skeletons, were the ones that so many people gravitated towards, because there really were no really good, like, you know, 1/12 scale knight and skeleton figures. Since Mythic Legions, there have been a couple like the Storm Collectibles skeletons that have come out, which are very different than what Mythic Legions have put out. But those are the two that I feel I see. If people aren't into everything, a lot of them, if they focus, that's where I see a lot of them focus. Vampires as well. There's a lot of people that love the vampire factions.
Yeah, I mean that's like a subculture all its own, so that's not surprising, because I mean
Yeah.
that also plays into like the goth thing and the
Yeah.
horror thing, and you know
Yeah.
there's a lot going on with the vampire crew.
Yeah. There is so much to like. There's a display over.
That's what I keep looking. That's what
There's a
my
display.
eyes, like I'm either looking over at you or my eyes are going there. It's just, it reminds me of like sometimes, you know, like with my kids, if they're like, you know, like trying to tell a story or something like that, and you can actually see their eyes going
Yeah.
around the room, and then they're picking their reference points. That's what I'm doing. Like, oh, there's Alithia, vampire, goblins right there. So
There's a display over to my right that is just a number of different figures. Chris has actually shown pictures of it before, but the Alithia, those would be pre-production samples, right?
Yeah, there are first like full deco with like, you know, injected parts. They're very close to production.
Yeah, it's the ones that Chris and George have been showing on the weekly show here. So they're all set up over there. Very, very cool. And they keep all day. My eyes have been going over there just looking at them.
that's what they're still, they're still very fresh here in the office. So it's hard to like, well, now they're on display, it's a little easier, but it's hard to not pick them up and, you know, fool around with them, especially since like the Bardrick and the Krotos and stuff have that entirely new body.
Yeah.
So it's such a new piece of toy to mess around with.
Yeah, they're toys meant to be played with.
Absolutely. People ask all the time whether I open all my toys or whether I keep them packaged. And I was telling this story the other day that back when I first started collecting, I think I've told you before, but McFarlane Toys, Spawn, was what I really, really started with. And at the time, I used to buy 2 of each. I'd buy 1 to display loose and 1 to have packaged, and I hung them all up on the wall. But then that was that period of time where like variants were really popular. And it wasn't only like, oh, look, they did an all gold series. It was also like, you know, this figure's got a running change. And every running change, I had to get an extra of. I had to get an extra of all the running change. And I remember the figure that I got, and I hope you didn't work on this because I'm going to say it was a figure I didn't love. But the figure that I got, and I had like 8 of them, all running changes, and I didn't love the figure, was the Freak.
I did work on
You did
that,
work on it.
but I am not offended.
Not offended by that.
I don't care. I don't care at all.
That was the figure that I'm like, you know what? I don't need 8 of this figure packaged because this one's got a different colored bag or something like that.
It's not a very exciting character. Like it's, and I mean, in truth be told, I mean, go back and look at that sculpture. It's not good.
Well, that was the point. I am thankful for that figure because that was the figure that made me say, you know what? I don't need packaged anymore. And I sold all my packaged figures and have been a loose collector ever since.
And then $10 later, you were on to bigger and better things.
No, I had a 5-cent overkill. You remember that?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I did good money for
Back
that.
then,
Oh yeah, I mean,
that was
years ago.
because I had a bunch of samples of that stuff, and I remember, that was like at least well over $100.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Cygor one was at one point. I remember going into the local store and seeing that up for, it was like $80 or something like that. So it was like 5 years ago when we moved. I was reassessing everything in my basement, and it's like that same Cygor was worth, it was like $5. It was less than the retail price. And so I gave away, I think it was at least 15 solid pack cases to, I think we gave it to big brothers, big sisters. Like it was worth less than it was when it came out.
Sure.
So that, like, if I would have sold it back in the day, it would have been some good money.
Oh yeah, all the 5 cents. Actually, when I sold my package collection of Spawn, I sold it as a lot to one person, and it's because they wanted the 5-cent overkill. And there was one other wacky, I don't know if it was Blue Spawn or some other wacky packaging change or something that they really, really wanted, and they were willing to buy everything to get like those 2 key pieces, which I've done that too. I bought big giant lots of stuff to get the few key pieces I want and then traded and sold off the rest. So not that surprising, but yes. So the Freak is the figure that got me to be a loose collector only.
That period of time was so focused on the mint condition, and I mean, it was really, I think, I guess like the comic boom of that era, like was probably had wound down or was winding down, and then it kind of switched over to the action figures, and then it was mid 90s where everybody was doing a figure. Like, just I remember, I don't know, like there was one that was like Helena or something like that, like
a red tattered cape.
It's like, and like the warrior nun figure, and like it was just every time you go in, there was another figure on the shelf, like a one-shot figure. And it was they all had the chases and the variants and all that stuff.
Glow in the dark version, and I remember that as well.
And it was just like the comics was. I remember there was like the Max, and then there was the Max glow in the dark cover, and then I mean, God, like the Death of Superman, that the least rare comic of all time. Like,
that was absolutely a weird time to be a collector because you're right. There were so many. I mean, there was the stuff that you could get at, the Toys R Us and everything that was on those aisles. That was a period where Toy Biz was doing all the Marvel lines. I loved those Toy Biz figures back then.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Someone was asking me the other day about Vac Metal, if I like Vac Metal on figures. And I'm like, it depends on the way it's used. But I thought about that, like old Iron Man, like Armor Wars type. And I loved those figures, little armor clipped on and stuff. But yeah, that was a weird point. Then you'd go to the local comic shop and they had all those figures plus all of these other ones like Warrior Nun, like you mentioned. Those were weird time. All right, let's see. I've got Eric here. If you guys want to ask him some questions, last time I had him on, we didn't really get to a lot of questions, and we said that we would do another one where we would let you ask questions. So if you want to hit Eric up with any questions, now's your time. Dwarf. We need male vampire legion builders. We need more Fury Clan. You're just going to get a slew of requests of people asking you for the stuff they want. Can you just do the bare chest high gloss figures?
I don't even have an answer for that.
That was such a funny. Humans are boring. can't wait for my Gar from Cosmic. Oh, my Thygar.
Ah.
I can't wait for Thygar from Cosmic.
Okay.
They separated those
Yeah,
words.
Gar. I'm thinking Masters.
What? Someone's working on a skeleton dwarf. Fury vampires. Sage. We started talking about McFarlane and Spawn, so a lot of people are asking about that.
I'm sure a lot of folks got their start in
Oh, yeah.
from the McFarlane days. I mean, it really, that era changed the way people collect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was a very just crazy time, like the speed at which things were changing and being released.
Yeah. So someone's asking, when is the next Cosmic lore dump? We spent a lot of time really focused on Cosmic Legions over the last, the 6+ weeks that ran. So I think we're changing gears a little bit, certainly changing gears with, Friday's reveal. But I think before fans know it, Cosmic, you'll probably have more story.
We still have, I know there's at least a few figure and focus articles left.
That we can
with
still
some
do.
Good tidbits.
Yeah. So more will be coming. Someone's asking a question, and this is not the first time I've seen this question, but will we ever get smaller scale figures like halflings?
That's a strong possibility.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I hesitate to ask this question, but it's an interesting one. Someone literally asked, if you die, is there a backup Eric so the line doesn't die?
Eric will never die. What are you talking about? He's immortal. I will save his hand and absorb his powers.
I don't know if that there is at this
Let's not contemplate that. I think we have bigger problems.
I need to get my boys trained quickly.
Here's
hopefully somebody doesn't know something I don't.
Here's a much better question. What shirt are you wearing?
It is a PowerCon. One of the PowerCon shirts. It's Buzz Off. That's a Nate Barch piece right there.
2020 it says on it.
It doesn't. Yes, it does. Yep. Yeah, half my wardrobe are the Nate PowerCon shirts.
Is there a method to what you put into a wave? I don't know what they mean by method. I mean, obviously, the last handful that aren't all-stars or reinforcement type stuff have had a pretty strong theme to them.
Yeah, I mean those. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's we know that what the anchor character in the wave is going to be, and then it's all it all is built around that, and it's trying to hit specific character types. Like this next wave is magic, and so had very specific character types that we wanted to get into the line, and then needs to make sense from a story standpoint, and where in the kind of the rollout of Mythic Legions information, all of it falls. It was whatever, I guess a couple years ago we did the Soul Spiller wave, and then that was a lead in to the Alithia wave. So generally there's some rhyme or reason. I mean, like the Deluxe Legion builders, that one we no bios on that wave. That one, it was really just looking at what people have been asking for and meeting those requests as much as we could. So it's not the same method to each wave. And even then switching over to Cosmic, like that planning was very different because we were coming out so strong with narrative in that one. That even, and again, like the way the information is going to roll out of that line is going to be a little bit different than Mythic was with the whole, it's Cosmic Legions Book One.
Yep.
Valkatar. So yeah.
A lot of people have asked a question. So much has been building up in Mythic Legions to these specific waves. You know, obviously there was a handful of waves that came out before Aether, but now year over year we've gotten Aether, we've gotten Alithia, now we're getting Poxxus. Anyone who's in the know can probably make the connection that next year is likely to be the fourth and final of the Horseman waves. A lot of people have speculated, especially because the final Horseman is death, that is the end of the Mythic Legions line. Do you want to dispel that notion?
Ridiculous. No, there's it might be the end of that particular portion of the story, but there's so much left that we want to do with this line, and so many plans and characters and creatures, and so much potential for story past the Horsemen. So much of the world of mythos left to be discovered. If you look at the bios, you start to see there's like little tiny tidbits trickled in here and there of what's beyond what we're seeing so far. So no, it's definitely not. I mean, as long as you will have us, Mythic will keep going. Because I know some people thought when Cosmic happened, that was the end. But
they're shifting over to Cosmic. They clearly can't do two things at once.
Right. And I think actually that's a good point, because hopefully nobody's felt that Mythic has fallen off leading up to Cosmic in any way. So that's was all the past 2 years plus of Mythic has been happening at the same time Cosmic's been working on. But hopefully then Poxxus then will also put people's minds at ease when you see this. It's hopefully, I mean, that's part of that apprehension before too, is I want to make sure that everybody feels like Mythic isn't missing a beat just because Cosmic happened.
Yeah, if the next wave came out and it was, all parts reuse, and parts reuse is great. I love deluxe Legion builders. I'm thrilled for reinforcements. But if the new wave changed what we've seen in terms of unique characters, new parts that we saw in Aether and Alithia, it would be easy for fans to say, oh, they've shifted their attention. Mythic is an afterthought. They're going to see this wave and they're going to say, okay, all my fears are quieted, because this wave clearly shows the attention. And I've answered the question about Mythic not going away, but I wanted them to hear it literally right from the horse's mouth.
I mean, think about it. Like with Mythic, we're working on the game. We're seeing updates on it constantly. It's looking amazing, but the game hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah.
It would be a terrible plan to have the game come out next fall and drop a final wave and just be done. So no, we want to keep going.
Hey, do you have a dream toy concept hidden in the back of your mind that you would like to see created one day?
I mean, there's a never-ending parade of ideas. That's, I think as a creator, and I think anybody else who creates knows this, there's so much more left in the sketchbook or on the drawing table than makes it to a final piece, whether, you're a painter, songwriter, sculptor, toy designer, whatever. That's like one of the frustrations of doing this sometimes. There's just not enough hours in the day. And you just know you'll never get to everything.
Well, there's the reality of schedules too, and it's, you know, production schedules, getting stuff out, being cognizant of the fans, you know, and how much is too much for them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all these other considerations.
Yeah, I mean that's been a big part of the balancing, just planning forward with Cosmic. You know, how do we keep them both going without killing people?
So Trevor says, question for Eric: why can't prototypes be made of a nice, soft, pliable plastic that won't destroy my nerves? I think Trevor's feeling a little punchy.
I've been asking that question for years. Like, there needs to be a better material.
You should be happy. We met him halfway.
This is actually a good.
Met him halfway. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay.
I love the fact that you're commenting in here.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm commenting. Jared, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What figure would you like to see in All-Star 5?
What figure would I like to see?
Yeah.
Oh God, dude, I'm not prepared for this.
I know, that's why I asked you.
I can guess which ones I imagine will be in All Stars.
Well, I want to know what you want. What would you like to see? Oh, Mr. Allen in the World of Toys is watching. Hi, Alan.
Honestly, Chris, there's no one that pops out in my head as saying I really want more of that character.
There's a comment in here that I'm going to tell you later. I'm not going to say it on. You'll know why. Just remind me to tell you.
Okay, that's
I'll-
not cryptic at all.
Well, I'd show it to you, but I don't know if you can see it.
Well, it's up close, but that's just tiny, so I can't see that either.
Someone asked a good question for you. It says, how many waves ahead are in development before you show the public what's coming?
The first one.
Did you get that question?
How many waves are in development? What was the last part?
Before we show the public what's coming. And I think a better question, because I know that full waves aren't ready. It's not like you just got them in the hopper, like
No.
full waves.
No.
But I think a better question is how many ideas approximately? Like there's a lot of stuff floating around. I mean, I just wrote an article that hasn't been released yet that talks about a character that you started developing years ago, 4 years ago, as far as I know, could have been even earlier than that, that's just starting to see the light of day. So how long in advance do you start working on this stuff?
That's a question that doesn't have a single answer to it. I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, to kind of answer the direct question, yeah, usually we don't have, like, we're concentrating on sculpting and prototyping up one line at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now on the sculpting end of things, yeah, there's things I've sculpted years ago that we have never even printed out yet.
Yep.
So it's, you know, everything's not cut and dry. Like there's, I'm trying to think of a good example. Well, there's just like, for example, the Varg, the little little vampire guy, like that head I popped up on Instagram for Halloween one year, and then it sat dormant for quite a while, and then when the time was right to put it in the wave, that's what happened. And that happens all the time. Like there are parts that I sculpted for the Necronominous wave probably 2 to 3 years ago. So I mean, sometimes it's just, yeah, I mean, it's all over the place.
Yep.
Like it's, again, like a lot of this stuff like and it tends to happen better if it happens organically, like just most of the time. Sometimes sitting down and forcing your way through things,
Sure.
that has its benefits as well, but yeah, sometimes it's a very curvy road to get get to the end point.
How often do you, because I know there's some times where you're like, okay, we've got a new wave to put out. I've got a deadline. I've got to, get this roster filled. How often do you just have an idea, you see something that sparks an idea and you start working it out and you just say, I've got to explore this? And how often do you just sculpt something not knowing where it's going to be used, when it's going to be used, that it's just to get this idea out of your head into the world, knowing that it'll appear at some point?
Not enough. I mean, it does happen. And sometimes, like, if it's like, like going into the Poxxus wave, I had a general idea of what everything was going to be, but there was certainly a lot of things that were done on the fly, like accessories especially, but even like some of the character design elements, whereas Poxxus, like you said, you saw that drawing years ago, and it's pretty darn close. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than if it would have been done back when it was drawn, because those designs, like the Horseman things the characters were fully designed before the first Kickstarter even happened. Like, they've been around for a long time. But like that kind of like that process where it just, that's that inspiration and just sit down and just start, throwing something together. Not enough. That's why, we're having an intern for a day tomorrow, and I'm going to do the sculpting demos. That's very much what that is. It's starting off with a ball and just and going with it. And so, like, I enjoy that because it's like an excuse to just sit down and riff on, a random head.
And one of the heads that you sculpted at the last intern for a day just got added to the Cosmic Legions line.
Yeah.
So that's something where just kind of freestyling and riffing that day is now seeing the light of day in the series.
My favorite comment: USS flag size dragon. Make it happen.
So we got a couple minutes left. Let's wrap this up with some questions here. What artists or lines inspire you? Let's do this rapid fire.
Oh God, that's like a very wide open question. I've talked a lot about Wayne Barlow from the sci-fi end of things. Fantasy, Masters Universe, always key. Dungeons and Dragons, of course, Frazetta. Just the 80s were so chock full of fantasy, like it was everywhere.
Does Eric ever have those mythic pizza moments where he sits and looks at a completed wave and just poses and appreciates them? I think that's any time you have that figure in your hand, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
especially new ones.
It's for us, the thing is, it's like, we've got these Alithia figures now. Most people aren't going to have these for months. And then a lot of times we see the test shots first. Like, a lot of times for me, the moment where it's like really that, I don't know, kind of fulfillment is like the test shot when it first comes in. A lot of times by the time the final product is here, it gets old news. Like, we're like 3 waves ahead.
That's the hardest thing, is
a lot of
having
requests.
all this new stuff and we can't say anything.
A lot of requests. Dragons, griffins,
Bears.
They're using this as their opportunity just to pepper you with all of the things, that they want. Dragon warriors.
Thought of any of that stuff, guys. Wow, I would have never even thought of a dragon.
It's a brilliant idea.
Oh, and by the way, to answer your question, I had to, while Eric was answering, I had to look at the checklist to think who I'd like to see. And the dwarf fans are going to love this. I would love to see Thord Ironjaw make an appearance again. I think that's a good, just classic looking dwarf character. So
that'll never happen.
So that would probably be
Thor 2.0.
Well, 2.0, but not at All Stars.
That would be one of my picks.
Yeah, that'd be a good pick. I mean, did we do Helmir as a reissue? I mean,
Nope.
All Star.
Nope.
Helmir would be cool.
Nope.
He's awesome. I like the way he looks.
A 2.0 dwarf would be cool.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
new build of the dwarf with the thicker torso that we got on Magnus and Vorthog, that is so good on the dwarf.
Yeah.
Like when you put together the dwarf body with that torso, it's just like, oh, it's not dramatically bigger, but just that little bit of extra thickness makes just such a great profile for that
Well,
figure.
especially it's got that rounder
Yeah.
shape. Yeah.
We need Hobbit feet.
People are just throwing out all of their different answers to your question. Saw a couple people saying Sir Galeron, saw a couple Thord, saw Ilgar. Ilgar's a popular one.
Well, you guys botched that one up on the last All-Star.
Sir Galeron's an interesting one because that is a figure. Like I feel like I almost forgot he's even in the line. Like it was kind of understated. Even the the first time around. And then it just seems to like I'd never hear anything about it. I never see anything either.
He's honestly one of my favorite knight figures. I love the unique coloring of his armor. But we had a conversation about this, and you said the same thing when I said Sir Galeron about something recently. You were like, I forgot about that. That figure.
That's like that. How would you even describe that color armor?
It's almost like maroonish.
Whoopsies.
We're okay.
Yeah, because I feel like he was in a class like Ignatius, that one, not Gideon, because he was more of a A-lister type character. Just like there was another knight.
Owain didn't. If I'm not mistaken, Owain wasn't super popular because the build was identical to the Silver Knight Legion builder.
Right.
So a lot of people at that first Kickstarter said, well, I can get the Silver Knight Legion builder for $18 versus $33 for Owain.
Yeah.
So he wasn't as popular. Yeah, Galeron is one of my favorites. I have two in my display. I have one as is, then I have another one that when I first started customizing, some of the first simple swaps I did were with Masters of the Universe Classic sets. Because they made a lot of sense. They obviously sculpted by you guys, so it worked really, really well. And the Eldor figure, the color of the armor on his head is like the exact armor color as Sir Galeron. So I have him on that, and he's part of my little Kingdom of Little Falls. That's what I call it.
Nice.
Awesome. So we're almost at time, and I am going to wrap up at 9 o'clock tonight because we've got a ton of stuff to do. So I'll leave with this. Eric, what are you most excited for this weekend?
For it to be over.
Wow, there's a lot of questions I didn't get through. I was like scrolling down. I was like, oof.
Really, just having everybody together and seeing seeing all of our friends, and that was such a highlight of ToyCon earlier this year. Was like all these faces and that we hadn't seen in so long, and it was just like it was such a joyous occasion to get everybody back together. And this is even more targeted in on our community. So it's just going to be cool seeing everybody together and enjoying themselves, and that's what it's all about.
It's going to be great. I mean, I would be excited for any of the next 4 days. Like if this was just intern for a day tomorrow, I'd be jazzed. G-Con, love G-Con every single year. That would be super exciting. You just mentioned ToyCon. ToyCon in May was incredibly fun, but ToyCon now paired with the culmination of that event at LegionsCon on Sunday. The fact that we've put all 4 of them together, it's day to day to day, so much to look forward to. My son who came up with me today, I mean, he's been looking forward to this for months and months. He was just since May, since May when we finally announced that we were doing this. So
I said to Chris, see you in November.
That's about it.
Yeah. I feel like Monday is going to be a very big day of naps for people.
Except for Trevor. So I believe Trevor is going to do a recap of Mythic Weekend on Legion's Lounge. So he'll be
at least he's got the day to recover.
Yeah, he'll have the day to recover. I'll have Monday and Tuesday to recover, and then Wednesday night I can do my show and kind of take a breath. Because at that point, all of the pressure will kind of be off. Yesterday, I was telling Chris this earlier. I did a custom yesterday, only to keep my mind busy. Like everything was packed. All the product I had to paint for LegionsCon was packed. All of my customs I was exhibiting were all packed. And I just found myself with so much nervous energy that I just looked around what I had. I grabbed a Zazar figure that I had in my box. And I just grabbed some parts that I had on my table that I hadn't used. And I just threw something together, literally just to get rid of that nervous energy, just building up to today.
That's awesome.
C. Justin had a great suggestion. Dad bod torso.
We'll say
No, we will not see.
You can oil it up.
oiled dad bod.
Greased up with
With back hair.
we can get all of these weird requests in on one piece.
That's right. Someone did say something about real beard hair, which would never happen, but it would be cool.
Or like flocked beard hair.
Yeah, I guess something. It would be cool, but it's never going to happen. It might happen.
I mean, they did it in the 60s on G.I. Joe.
They did. So with that, I think we're done.
Oh, bye. No,
We will see you all this weekend. Stay tuned.
Some of you tomorrow.
The Four Horsemen Studios YouTube channel. That is where G-Con will be broadcast on Friday. The hours are from 11 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you then. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. I like your elevator music at the end.